Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just be officially updating you on some more current transfer rumours and gossip. So lots to negotiate on this video today, but the first topic of the development I'm going to give you an update on is in regards to Wissam Yedder from Sevilla. Now I'm going to give you a bit more additional information about him. I think I give you an update about Wissam Yedder earlier on this week, because he has been quite a lot of reports circulating around the media saying that Manchester United are interested in signing Wissam Yedder, of course, if Romelu Lukaku does depart the club this summer. But I think reportedly it does say in the Sun, I've just read, it says Manchester United have everything agreed to sign Wissam Yedder, of course, if Lukaku does make the move to Inter Milan this summer. So potential Wissam Yedder, obviously he plays for Sevilla. He is 28 years of age. I think he's about 5'7". He's been at Sevilla 3 years. I think his goal scoring pedigree is supposed to be very, very good, and I think he's overall technically a good footballer. Is Wissam Yedder, even though I don't know much about him. Obviously, last season for Sevilla, I think he scored around 30 goals and provided 11 assists in 54 games in all competitions for Sevilla last season. So that is very, very impressive. Obviously, we do know he's French. Like I said, he's 28 years of age, and he has got 2 years left on his deal with Sevilla. Obviously, Sevilla did sign him from Toulouse, or was it back in 2016 for around £9 million. So do you believe that Wissam Yedder would be a good replacement for Romelu Lukaku? But like I said, there has been quite a few players on our agenda who could replace Romelu Lukaku at the football club. But potentially, we do know that we've been mainly so far this summer, working on, bringing players in and all that. But I think also the club, need to, think about, the outgoings as well as the incomings and all that, to balance the books. Because obviously now we have obviously so far got 2 players on the board this summer, and it's obviously our first 2 signings under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Obviously we've got Daniel James for 18 million. Obviously we've got Wan-Bissaka in a deal worth around 50 million pounds. Obviously that takes our net spend up to 68 million pounds so far this summer on 2 players. So I do believe now, like I said, the club need to orchestrate on selling players, to help us, generate funds and rebuild the squad and all that. Because it allegedly said, we've only been given £100 million to spend, and obviously, it did provide a reason why it said we've only been given £100 million to spend, because obviously, we're not in a Champions League football for next season. But I think initially I thought, we'd been given around £200 million to spend. But like I said, £100 million of course isn't enough, to address the deficiencies in the squad. Obviously, it isn't enough, for us to get us the number of players that we do want in. But yeah, if it is to be true, we've only got £100 million to spend. Obviously, we've only got around £32 million to spend on a central defender, a couple of new additions in that midfield, a right winger, and of course a forward if Lukaku leaves the club. But obviously, we're not going to be able to do that with £32 million. So I think the club also needs to focus on about the outgoings instead of just the incomings and all that. So yeah. We have so far got 2 players on the board this summer, but obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be looking to build on that. Obviously, you want to bring at least 3 more new additions to the squad. So I do believe now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priorities, probably will be to bring a central defender in, and he'll want some. Obviously, he wants to add reinforcements in that midfield and all that. So yeah, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has worked out his transfer strategy for this summer. Obviously, he wants to develop a squad of young, hungry, homegrown talents and all that. And I think we actually are moving away for the policy, of signing them well established players, because obviously, we've got a history of spending big on players, especially in recent years. Obviously, Pogba 89 million, obviously Lukaku 75 million pounds. Obviously, our 2 most expensive signings. But I do believe that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is following, Alex Ferguson's philosophy, and I do believe that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is following a policy that proved successful under Alex Ferguson. That's obviously recommending young players to come to Manchester United and all that. But there is still lots to address in the squad. But like I said, do you think Wissam Yedder would be a good replacement for Romelu Lukaku? Now, I think we need to get rid of Romelu Lukaku. I do believe we also need to get rid of Paul Pogba, because that's going to help us generate quite a lot of funds and help us rebuild the squad. Because I do believe we can generate around £200 million, for Paul Pogba's departure and Romelu Lukaku's departure and all that. But we have put huge transfer fees on both Lukaku and Paul Pogba. That's what is making it difficult for them, to leave Manchester United at this moment in time. But I think both players have blatantly made it clear, that do want to leave Manchester United. But with Romelu Lukaku, like I said, I think now Inter Milan are willing to offload 2 of their players, to help them generate funds and obviously help them, meet that £75 million valuation and all that. Because obviously, we've said we want £75 million for Romelu Lukaku. We want £75 million for Romelu Lukaku, so basically, we're looking to recoup the money, that we did pay for him from Everton, back in 2017. Lukaku's our second most expensive signing. Obviously, we got him for £75 million. Obviously, there were several add-ons included in the deal of £15 million, which had potentially risen it to around £90 million. And of course, he has still got 3 years left on his contract, and I think he's on about £250 a week with Manchester United. But I do believe, we need to get rid of Romelu Lukaku. Obviously, Antonio Conte has identified him as his number one target and all that. Obviously, reflecting back a couple of years ago, Antonio Conte wanted Lukaku when he was a Chelsea manager, but obviously, he ended up coming to Manchester United and all that. And I think Lukaku recently, not too long ago, described Antonio Conte as one of the best managers in the world. So Lukaku is actually eager to play under Antonio Conte's guidance, because probably believes he will flourish under Antonio Conte's guidance. But Lukaku definitely wants to make the move to Inter Milan, because obviously surplus to requirements now. Manchester United obviously has lost his place in the team, because obviously we do know that Marcus Rashford is first choice ahead of Romelu first choice ahead of Romelu Lukaku, and obviously Romelu Lukaku is reluctant to play up a backup role to Marcus Rashford and all that. But like I did currently say, Inter Milan have orchestrated something out. Obviously reports came out earlier on this week. This came from Sky in Italy, and it did basically say that Inter Milan were willing to offer us around a £9 million loan fee to take Lukaku out on loan for the next 2 seasons, with then the obligation to buy for the further £54 million. And obviously, that mounts up to around £63 million at the end of the loan and all that. But like I said, more than likely, Manchester United will turn this down, because obviously, we want to offload him permanently. Romelu Lukaku. Inter Milan are struggling to generate enough funds, but I think they are getting rid of a couple of their players and all that, to help them, generate funds, to meet that £75 million valuation and all that. But I think, everything has been agreed, except the fee, between Lukaku and Inter Milan. Obviously, reports came out a while back saying that Inter Milan have agreed. It said Inter Milan have agreed, the personal terms with Lukaku. It also said Romelu Lukaku agreed around the £180,000 a week deal with Inter Milan and all that. So everything has been agreed except the fee. So the fee is problematic for Inter Milan at the moment. But like I said, Lukaku's been at Manchester United 2 years. He scored 42 goals in 96 games in all competitions. And Lukaku was exceptional in his first season with the club and all that. I think he scored about 27 goals in all competitions, but didn't really replicate this in his second season with Manchester United and all that. But like I said, I've got strong reservations about him. The reservations I've got about him, I've already told you. But, we need this summer, we've got to get, the right players to Manchester United who can elevate Manchester United forward, players who are creative and all that. And, Lukaku isn't this, he isn't creative. He's too slow. He's a big game bottler and all that. So I think, we'd potentially, do need to get rid of him. And I think we did say a couple of weeks ago, that we've told Lukaku, that he can't leave Manchester United and all that. But everything's been agreed with him in Inter Milan except the fee. Obviously, reports emerged out earlier on this week. Lukaku's agent was in Milan on Tuesday, holding negotiations over Inter Milan, because I think Lukaku's agent is doing everything he can, to try and get Lukaku's move to Inter Milan completed. And according to Lukaku's agent, he's basically said that Lukaku wants to leave Manchester United, and he also said that Inter Milan, of course, are still trying to sign him. Obviously, Inter Milan have tried. Obviously, Inter Milan obviously want to get rid of Mario Icardi. I think they're also getting rid of Joe Mario and all that. And is it Dolber, if I'm right? To obviously help them generate funds to fund the move for Lukaku. But obviously, they want to offload Mario Icardi, and Inter Milan have offered us Mario Icardi in exchange for Romelu Lukaku. And like I said, I would like to see Mario Icardi as part of the deal for Romelu Lukaku, because I think Icardi is a very, very good player. His goal scoring pedigree is really, really good. He's Mario Icardi's, and he's proven that in his 6 years with Inter Milan. His stats are very, very impressive. Cardi's scored 111 goals in 188 games for Inter Milan. Obviously, the vast majority of his goals have obviously come at Inter Milan. Actually, Cardi has spent I think the majority of his career in Italy. He's Inter Milan's 9th highest top goal scorer of all time. I think he initially did say he's got around £100 million release clause before, but he enjoyed a difficult time with Inter Milan last season. Enjoyed a difficult time with Inter Milan last season because obviously Inter Milan have increasingly become frustrated with him. Obviously, I think he also lost the captaincy back in February and all that. Obviously, Mario Icardi is 26 years of age, so he is the same age as Romelu Lukaku, and Icardi still got a hell of a lot of years ahead of him. It remains uncertain if he did come to the Premier League that he would, that he would tear the Premier League up. That's not fully certain, but in my own opinion, if he did come to the Premier League, I think he would succeed, he would exceed expectation levels, and I think he would produce and deliver, the same element of the performances, that he has been doing in his 6 year spell with Inter Milan and all that. But Inter Milan have offered us Mario Cardi as part of the deal for Romelu Lukaku. Also, they've tried offering us Ivan Perisic as part of the deal for Lukaku, but again, Manchester United had turned this down because obviously we do know that Ivan Perisic is no longer a Manchester United target and all that. So if Lukaku does leave the football club, obviously it's very, very imperative, that we do get a replacement for him. So do you think, Ben Yedder, would be the right solution and all that? I think, we've got everything agreed, to bring him to Manchester United, of course, if Romelu Lukaku, does leave the club. And I think he's actually keen on making the move to Manchester United, is Ben Yedder. It also says that, PSG have been interested in him. It also says that Barcelona, like I said, have been interested in Wissam Ben Yedder. But he actually, could be leaving Sevilla this summer, reportedly, whether, Lukaku stays or whether Lukaku goes or not. Ben Yedder's got a release clause of around £36 million, so he is available for a reasonable figure. So, my opinion, I think he would be a good replacement for Romelu Lukaku, because that was a problem last season. Wasn't scoring enough goals, wasn't ruthless enough in front of goals. So I probably think Wissam Ben Yedder, would be a good option. Obviously, there's been other targets on our current agenda, who could replace Romelu Lukaku at the football club. Obviously, as I did give you a big update on my last video in regards to Antoine Griezmann from Atletico Madrid. Now, potentially, I think it does allegedly say that Griezmann has agreed around a 5-year contract with Barcelona. I think it also says he has agreed the personal terms and that with Barcelona. But I think in a way, we're still trying to hijack Barcelona's move for Antoine Griezmann, because we're interested in recommending him, to come to Manchester United and all that. And I think we're trying to convince Barcelona, we're trying to say basically that Barcelona's number one target is Neymar, because obviously, Barcelona do want to re-sign Neymar and all that. And I think we're trying to say that Griezmann is Barcelona's alternative and all that. So Neymar's their top target, and obviously, they're seeing Griezmann as their second choice and all that. But yeah, we're still in there, for Antoine Griezmann and all that. Like I said, we are basically, still in there for him. Obviously, Griezmann had made an admission, was it over a month ago now, saying that, he will be, leaving Atletico Madrid this summer. He definitely will be. He is leaving Atletico Madrid this summer. That's very, very imminent and all that. And it did say a while back, Barcelona now have got second thoughts about bringing Antoine Griezmann in. They've got second thoughts about bringing him and all that, and, there wasn't, really interested and all that. And I think Griezmann increasingly, become frustrated about this. But it came out about this a couple of weeks ago, saying that we was willing to smash our own transfer record, and it did say we was willing to pay offer around £95 million for Antoine Griezmann. I think he's a really, really good player. His goal scoring pedigree is fantastic. He is only 28. He's 28 years of age. Is Antoine Griezmann, so he has still got quite a lot of development in him. Obviously, hasn't played in the Premier League as yet. And actually, Griezmann has spent the entirety of his career in Spain, but I don't think Griezmann is the fundamental player as he was a couple of years ago and all that. But I just don't think we'd be able to get Griezmann anyway. I think we'd obviously have to offload a couple of players first, to generate funds, and then put them funds on Antoine Griezmann. But I think Griezmann probably will be making the move to Barcelona. Obviously, like I said, Griezmann's been at Atletico Madrid, 5 years. Obviously, he scored 133 goals in 257 appearances for Atletico Madrid in all competitions. Obviously, before he was at Atletico Madrid, he was at Real Sociedad and all that. So he has spent the entirety of his career in Spain. Barcelona were on the verge of getting Griezmann last summer, but obviously, Griezmann had remained loyal to Atletico Madrid, and he did sign a new contract. So he is on the contract with Atletico Madrid until 2023. But he did say, we'd make a couple of weeks ago, we made initial contact with Griezmann over the potential move to Old Trafford. Obviously, reflecting back a couple of years ago, we was on the verge of getting Antoine Griezmann, but due to Atletico Madrid transfer ban, obviously, the deal, of course, never materialised and all that. So, do you think he would be a good adequate replacement for Romelu Lukaku? But I probably do believe he will end up, making the move to Barcelona and all that. And other strikers that have obviously been on our current agenda, like I've been updating you regularly, there has been a lot of talks going on about Patrick Emerick Aubameyang. there's been a lot of talk, going on about Patrick Emerick Aubameyang, from Arsenal and all that. Obviously, a lot of reports were stemming out last week, from Andy Goldstein from TalkSport, who was a presenter of TalkSport. He said Manchester United are interested in signing Patrick Emerick Aubameyang, and more things was updated about it, earlier on this week, and it allegedly said, that Aubameyang has agreed a transfer to Manchester United. Like I did say, I don't believe there's a lot of credibility in this, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. I don't believe there is a lot of credibility in it, and I just don't think, Aubameyang, would come to Manchester United and all that. So I think the majority of this story, the media just speculating on it, basically I think for the majority of the story, they are basically, justifying their existence on this. But Aubameyang is a really, really good player. He's got that proven pedigree as a central striker. He's also his goal scoring pedigree. It's also, fantastic and all that. Obviously, Aubameyang, since he arrived at Arsenal in January 2018, obviously I think he's made about 49 appearances in the Premier League, scored 32 Premier League goals. Obviously, last season scored 22 goals in 36 Premier League games. Last season, of course, won the Golden Boot. He is 30 years of age. He has got 2 years left on his contract with Arsenal as Patrick Emerick Aubameyang. And I've always liked Aubameyang, especially during his Borussia Dortmund days. He is predominantly a central striker, but he can also play out wide, so you can put him on the left. You can also put him on the right and all that. I would be excited about the prospects of linking Aubameyang up with the likes of Rashford and Martial and all that, because he would blend in really, really well. But I just don't see Aubameyang coming out to Manchester United. Obviously, Arsenal paid £56 million for him from Borussia Dortmund back in January 2018. I think that was a club record fee and all that. I think Arsenal are open to selling Patrick Emerick Aubameyang. Obviously, Arsenal have got a tight budget this summer. They've only got around 40 or 45 million pounds to spend. So obviously, Arsenal are going to be wanting to sell some of their essential players, to help them generate funds and rebuild their squad and all that. Obviously, Arsenal are in Champions League football for next season, so it's going to be pretty difficult for them to have a competitive window this summer. They were only restricted to loan signings back in January, and it's also going to be difficult for my club, Manchester United, to have a competitive window, and it's also going to be hard for us to get as number one targets because we're not in a Champions League football for next season and all that. But yeah, I do like Aubameyang a lot. It did say, we was willing to pay up to £70 million for his services. Like I said, he has been linked to move to China. It did allegedly say that he's been offered around 300 grand a week, to go play in the Chinese Super League and all that. But like I said, Arsenal did say they want at least around £56 million. So basically, they'll be looking to recoup the money that they did pay for him from Borussia Dortmund back in January 2018 and all that. So obviously, we'll see Aubameyang as an adequate replacement for Lukaku. Obviously, Paul Dybala's been on our agenda, for quite some time. So, who would you, bring in? I'd like to know in the comments below. But like I said, Wissam Yedder, he's 28 years of age. Obviously, hasn't played in the Premier League as yet. He's technically a good footballer. I think his touches in that are good. He's got that goal scoring pedigree and all that. He's available for reasonable figures. I think his initial league cost is around 36 million. PSG are interested, Barcelona are interested, but I think from his own preference, he's keen on making a move to Manchester United. He's Wissam Yedder. So I think we're only willing to go in for him, of course, if Romelu Lukaku, does leave the football club. But obviously, like I said, we've got 2 signings so far on the board. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say he wants to bring at least 5 new additions to the squad and all that. But yeah, like I said, there's so many players on our current agenda, so I'm really, really glad now we've got that right back in that we did need. Obviously, we still need a right winner without a shadow of a doubt, and I'm still sceptical of us, recommending the right winner in, even though there's been quite a few winners on our agenda. We definitely need reinforcements in that midfield, that's very, very essential, and we also need at least one central defender. I think on that left-hand side, we're mainly okay on that left-hand side, because I think the majority of our attack, is coming from that left-hand side. But like I said, I do believe our expectations going on into this season, probably will be to finish in the top 4 going on into this season, maybe in the Carabao Cup, maybe in the Europa League. I would like us to win some silverware next season, because we haven't won any silverware in the last couple of seasons. Obviously, we haven't won any silverware since we won the Europa League. Obviously, we haven't won the Premier League, since 2013 and all that. Obviously, that was in Alex Ferguson's last season. That's now over 6 years gone now. But like I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still in the process of rebuilding. But he did blatantly make it clear, he wants to build a squad, worthy of the club's history. And obviously, we've got to get the right players in, who are, going to get Manchester United back, to being a competitive elite level football club. But I do believe in the next couple of seasons, our aspirations is going to be that top four. I can't really see, mounting a title challenge up next season. I don't think we'll win it. I don't think we'll be challenging. I think, we'll be going for the top four and all that, because obviously City strides ahead of us at the moment. Obviously, Liverpool and that strides ahead of us. And I probably do believe the likes of City and Liverpool are probably going to do a transfer activity this summer. Also, Tottenham, obviously, going to do a transfer activity this summer, because Tottenham haven't done any transfer activity in the last couple of windows and all that, as you all currently know. But yeah, we've got to get the right players to Manchester United this summer. Like I said, we've been a toxic club for the last 5 or 6 years, since Alex Ferguson retired and all that. A hell of a lot of money has been spent into the club. Players have come in, and of course players have gone and all that. But like I said, regardless of who our manager is, no one is ever going to follow Alex Ferguson's legacy. That's something we've got to accept, and we're never going to achieve of what we achieved under Alex Ferguson, for 20 odd years and a success, that we did currently have. But even though we've been a toxic club for the last 5 or 6 years, we're definitely still one of the biggest clubs in the world. We've got a fantastic stadium, fantastic fan base. We've won 13 Premier Leagues, 20 all in all. So basically, we are, the most successful team in England, historically and all that. So we are still a massive club and all that. And last season was disappointing. We finished 6th. We didn't win any silverware. So I want to see vast improvements, of course, going on into this season. Like I said, I hope Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can take Manchester United forward. Like I said, I hope it works out under him. I probably would give him at least a year, or maybe even 2 years and all that. Because we haven't got the structure, to keep sacking managers. We've already sacked 3 managers, since Alex Ferguson retired. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a great player for Manchester United, for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson and all that. He did really, really well. So he's got that proven pedigree as a player. He hasn't really got it as a manager. He has got a bit of managerial experience, because he did win a couple of Norwegian titles with Mold, but he hasn't really got the experience to the highest level as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And that's something, that does currently concern me. But I hope he's got the abilities and the stature to get us in that commanding position where we do currently want to be. But I'm actually surprised by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy, because a club like us always wants basically wants to sign them well established players and spend big on players. But like I said, we are moving away from the policy of doing that, and we're looking to be sensible with our recruitment this summer and bring young players in, which is very, very good, to be quite honest with you. So I will praise Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for that. But like I said, I do believe I think our third signing, this summer, should actually be Bruno Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon. Now, a lot of good news has been coming out today in regards to Bruno Fernandes. Now, reportedly, it does say City. Well, obviously they'd withdrawn their interest about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Now, now it's confirmed Liverpool and Tottenham have all withdrawn their interest. So it does say we're the only team now in the running for Bruno Fernandes. But I think anyway, we've been considered the favourites, to sign Bruno Fernandes at least for the last 2 to 3 weeks and all that. This was stemming from Ebola, the Portuguese press. But I think Bruno Fernandes is keen on making a move to Manchester United. But like I said, now we have stepped up our interest in him. Obviously, reports were reflecting out earlier on this week, and we had met up with Bruno Fernandes' agent in London. Obviously, negotiating with his agent over getting a deal concluded and all that. Sporting Lisbon have said they want around 60 or 70 million pounds to him. He did say earlier on this week, we was not willing to meet what Sporting Lisbon were currently demanding and all that. But he also said Liverpool have been in negotiations with his agent this week. But now, like I said, Liverpool have opted out of the race. It did report, was it last week sometime, saying that Liverpool had put a bid in for him of around 45 million euros. Obviously, that equates to around 40 million in pounds sterling. But obviously, that's going to be that figure's going to be nowhere near enough, to convince Sporting Lisbon, to offload him. Even though reports reflected out from Liverpool Echo earlier on this week, saying that Liverpool are the heavy favourites, to sign Bruno Fernandes. Also reported last week saying that Tottenham had been in negotiations with Bruno Fernandes' agent and all that. Because obviously, Tottenham have been in there for Bruno Fernandes. Because obviously, Christian Eriksen is linked to move away from Tottenham. And obviously, if Christian Eriksen leaves, Tottenham are obviously going to want a replacement if Christian Eriksen leaves, Tottenham are going to want a replacement for him. So they have been in there for Bruno Fernandes. But like I said, now they have dropped their interest. So basically, it's reported out earlier on this week saying that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's desperate to get this deal done for Bruno Fernandes. And I'm very, very hopeful, by the time we go on pre-season, that we can get at least one more deal done. And I hope Bruno Fernandes is going to be our third sign this summer. But Solskjaer has instructed Ed Woodward, to speed up a deal to sign Bruno Fernandes. But I think we are in pole position now to currently sign him. I think it did say we value him at around £49 million. But Bruno Fernandes has been on our agenda now for a very, very long time. Obviously, he has been one of our main priority targets. He is only 24 years of age, and I think Bruno Fernandes, definitely, would be a good, adequate replacement for Paul Pogba. Bruno Fernandes I think if he comes to the Premier League, he's got all the attributes to succeed. I think he'll definitely exceed expectation levels in the Premier League. And it was amazing the amount of goals he scored for the midfielder. Last season he scored 31 goals, I think, in all competitions for Sporting Lisbon last season. He can't only score goals, he can also provide them as well. So if he comes to Manchester United, he'll win us them goals that we need in that midfield. He'll also, rejuvenate the team and all that. So he'll be the perfect candidate for Manchester United. He's been at Sporting Lisbon 2 years. He's still under contract with them until 2023. Obviously, when Bruno Fernandes was younger, he spent the majority of his career, in Italy, with the likes of Sampdoria and Udinese and all that. And comparing, Bruno Fernandes and Sean Longstaff, because obviously Sean Longstaff, of course, is on our agenda. Obviously, to pick out of the two, obviously, Bruno Fernandes obviously would be the better option, because obviously, Bruno Fernandes is obviously more experienced than Sean Longstaff and all that. Bruno Fernandes hasn't really played to the highest level as yet, but him coming to the Premier League, it will rejuvenate his career and take his footballing career to the next level. It looks as though at one point Manchester City were going to get a deal concluded for Bruno Fernandes, but it got confirmed, like I said, City have withdrawn their interest and they're no longer in now for Bruno Fernandes. So hopefully we can get this deal done for Bruno Fernandes, sometime next week. With Sean Longstaff from Newcastle now, as I've been updating you on a regular basis, it did get reported out about Sean Longstaff yesterday, and it's also been coming out with some media outlets today. It did say, we are set to lodge a bidding for Sean Longstaff next week, and it did say our first bid is going to be around £15 million plus add-ons included. I think Sean Longstaff is valued by Newcastle at around £30 million. He is only 21 years of age. But I think now we've been given a boost in our pursuit of Sean Longstaff, following the departure of Rafael Benitez at Newcastle. Well, I think he must have resigned today, because obviously, his contract was due to expire today and all that. I don't know why he's resigned. I think the main factor reason why he's resigned, because obviously, he isn't really, getting any money. Maybe Rafael Benitez feels as though he's too good for Newcastle and all that. But he's actually, regarded as one of the best managers in the world. Is Rafael Benitez, to be quite honest. We obviously, the majority of Newcastle fans, want him to stay and all that. But obviously, he has resigned as Newcastle manager. So this is now give us a boost in our pursuit for Sean Longstaff. Sean Longstaff, obviously, made his debut for Newcastle in December of last year. Obviously, it was last season was only his first season in the senior squad, with Newcastle and all that. He recently signed a new contract with them. He's obviously, I think he signed a 4-year deal, so he's under contract with Newcastle until 2022. Like I said, 21 years of age. He is British, and there's been quite a lot of British players on our agenda this summer, because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to recruit British talents to Manchester United this summer and all that. But I think Sean Longstaff is primarily a central midfielder, if I'm right. Obviously, I think Sean Longstaff is still recovering from a knee ligament injury. Obviously, he had sustained this back in March. I think it was actually Newcastle's game against West Ham. So actually, Sean Longstaff, didn't play the last couple of months of last season, due to this injury he had sustained. So I do believe he's still, recovering, from this, injury he had sustained and all that. But he initially began his career with Newcastle, did Sean Longstaff. I think he also had loan spells with Kilmarnock and Blackpool. But I think Manchester United have been in negotiations with Newcastle over getting a deal concluded. He did report out the other week, saying that, we were close to getting a deal over the line for Sean Longstaff for around £25 million. So I think we're probably set to get him for around maybe 25 or 30 million pounds. But like I said, that is a reasonable figure. So probably our next two signings, are going to be Sean Longstaff from Newcastle and Bruno Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon, I do presume. But we do need new additions in that midfield, because like I said, we need a replacement for Ander Herrera. We also need a replacement for Paul Pogba if he does leave the club and all that. But I think the players, that are going to be leaving Manchester United this summer, we do know Valencia is definitely left. Obviously, he served 10 years at Manchester United. Obviously, it's looking Obviously, we do know that Ander Herrera, of course, has left on a free transfer. It's looking very likely that Darmian and Rojo are going to be leaving the club. I think we can generate around 25 or 30 million pounds, for the departures of Darmian and Marcus Rojo. But Darmian and Rojo have both endured difficult times at Manchester United and all that. Mainly with Rojo, due to the amount of injuries he has sustained, it's had a bad effect on his Manchester United career. And Darmian, really, hasn't been given the opportunity. Darmian's been here since the Louis van Gaal era. I think, we got him in 2015 from Torino for just over 12 million pounds and all that, but hasn't really been given the chance at Manchester United, so we do need to offload him. Smalling and Jones are no longer good enough at Manchester United. Like I currently said, they're no longer good enough to represent Manchester United. They've been two long-serving players at the club. We've got quite a few players, that have been long-serving players. We've got quite a few players that have spent a lot of years at Manchester United. Like I said, De Gea's been here 8 years, Smalling's been here 9 years, Jones has been here 8 years, Ashley Young's been here about 8 years and all that. Valencia was here 10 years. So yeah, we've got quite a few long-serving, players, like I said. But Smalling and Jones are no longer good enough, like I was saying. And, it was a bad mistake for Manchester United, giving Smalling and Phil Jones a new long-term contract. So this is why the vast majority of Manchester United fans are saying, we do need 2 central defenders. We definitely need at least 1 central defender. But yeah, we have got issues defensively. After that, was proven last season, because last season we conceded 54 goals in the Premier League, last season in 38 Premier League games, and that's our highest total, of course, in 40 years. And, we haven't had a world-class central defender, since we had the likes of Vidic, and of course, since we had the likes of Ferdinand. So, like I said, there's still lots to address in the squad. But I think, players who could replace Paul Pogba, like I said, Bruno Fernandes would be definitely my number one, to replace Paul Pogba. But there's obviously, been other midfielders, of course, that have been mentioned. I think the vast majority of Manchester United fans, would, like to see James Maddison, coming from Leicester. Obviously, there's been quite a lot of talks, going on about him. Allegedly said the other week that James Maddison is interested in making a move to Manchester United. And he also did reportedly say, that he wants to meet up with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, does James Maddison. Obviously, he's only 22 years of age. I think he's actually primarily an attacking midfielder. Like I said, he played 36 games for Leicester in the Premier League last season. He scored 7 goals and he provided 7 assists. So he was basically involved in 14 goals in 36 Premier League appearances last season, and also created more chances than any other player in the Premier League. So his stats are very impressive, of course. He came out about this story about 3 or 4 weeks ago, saying that we was in for James Maddison. He said, we emerged him as a priority target and all that. So basically, it did say we was in for him, about 3 or 4 weeks ago. It did say if Leicester were willing to sell him, they would want around 60 million pounds for his services. But he did say he was keen on making the move to Manchester United. But there again, he did say he's got strong reservations about joining Manchester United, because obviously, we're not in a Champions League football for next season. But James Maddison, Leicester got him last summer from Norwich for £20 million. He signed a 5-year contract. Obviously, he's got 4 years remaining on his contract with Leicester. Also, quite a few teams have been tracking James Maddison now. I think, since he was a teenager at Coventry, because actually James Maddison, began his career with Coventry, when he was younger and all that. He also had a loan spell in Scotland, with Aberdeen. But like I said, he's had a year of experience under his belt in the Premier League. So we have been in for James Maddison. Can score goals, can provide, proven in the Premier League, really good at creating chances, as he did prove last season. So probably the vast majority of Manchester United fans, would demand him in, and I think he would be a good replacement for Paul Pogba, to be quite honest with you. He would be a good replacement for Paul Pogba, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. And I think, the vast majority of Manchester United fans, would maybe like to see, Yari Tillemans come in. I think recent reports have said, we have rejected the opportunity, to sign Yari Tillemans. So I think we've actually now pulled them out of the race for him. Even though a lot of reports were saying a couple of weeks ago, saying that, reportedly, we've revived our interest in Yari Tillemans. And it did say, we've been in negotiations with Yari Tillemans' agent over getting a possible deal concluded. Obviously, he's had around 5 or 6 months of experience under his belt in the Premier League. He'd initially been on loan with Leicester, since January and all that. And he was very, very impressive throughout his loan spell with Leicester. This is what the main factor reason why Leicester now are keen on getting him on a permanent deal. Obviously, Leicester have been in talks with Monaco about this. He has now returned to Monaco, Yari Tillemans, but he's confirmed probably he will not be staying with Monaco next season and all that. But yeah, Leicester, I think it's initially in Leicester City's plans, to partner up, Yari Tillemans alongside James Maddison, of course, in their midfield. But yeah, Leicester are keen on getting him on a permanent deal. I think also Tottenham have been in for him, Manchester City and that have been in for him. But he did allegedly say the other week that Leicester were leading the race and all that. But yeah, initially Monaco did get him in 2017, from Anderlecht. I think Monaco did pay around £21 million for his services. He must have signed like around a 5-year deal, was it, with Monaco, because he's under contract with Monaco till 2022. But he did begin his career, with Coventry. Not Coventry, Anderlecht, and I think at that point, Manchester United, were tracking Yari Tillemans, but he is only 22 years of age and all that. Still got a hell of a lot of development in him, so I do believe, he would be a good replacement for Paul Pogba and all that. So yeah, there has been a lot of midfielders on our current agenda and all that. There has been a lot of midfielders on our current agenda. Adrian Rabiot's been on our agenda, but obviously now he's out of the equation because he's obviously going to Juventus. Obviously Tanguy Ndombele has been on our agenda. Obviously he's no longer in the equation because obviously I think Tanguy Ndombele is supposedly making a £60 million move to Tottenham and all that. Also, Ivan Rakitic, I still believe he's in the equation because obviously, reports have been coming out earlier on this week now saying that we've actually, revived our interest in Ivan Rakitic. And I think actually Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has identified Ivan Rakitic as his number one target, to actually replace Paul Pogba and all that. Now, like I did say about Ivan Rakitic, I think his, pedigree is really, really good. I think he's had a fantastic career and all that. Obviously, the majority of the two where Ivan Rakitic has won has obviously, become at Barcelona. Obviously, he's been at Barcelona 5 years. I think he's made about 169 appearances in the La Liga and scored around 24 goals. I still believe he's got around 2 or 3 years left on his contract with Barcelona as Ivan Rakitic. He did report out earlier on this week saying that reportedly we'd submitted an offer around £31 million for his services. But reportedly, this is insufficient for Barcelona because Barcelona have blatantly made it clear, they want around 44 or 45 million pounds. So if we're willing to pay 44 or 45 million, Barcelona are willing to offload Ivan Rakitic. Now, talking about Ivan Rakitic, I think from his own perspective, he's got no intentions of leaving Barcelona because I think he remains happy at Barcelona. Obviously, Barcelona, I think, have obviously got Frankie de Jong coming in this summer. I think also, they're looking to bring a couple of other midfielders in, and obviously, Ivan Rakitic, of course, is going to find himself service to requirements and all that. So he has been subject to a lot of transfer speculation. I think also Inter Milan have been in for Ivan Rakitic, but I think Ernesto Valverde, the Barcelona manager, did confirm that they will let Ivan Rakitic go, if they do get a suitable offer for him, and of course if Barcelona can find an adequate replacement for him. Plus, I've got reservations about bringing him in because I just don't think he'd succeed in the Premier League now. I just don't think he'd succeed in the Premier League now. Plus, obviously, he's aging up now. He's Ivan Rakitic. He's 31 years of age. So, if he did come to Manchester United, I think he'd probably be a short-term player, if I'm going to be quite honest. Maybe we would get a year or two out of him, but, he would be a short-term player if he did come to Manchester United, Ivan Rakitic. He is a central. He can play as a central, more an attacking midfielder and all that. But don't get me wrong, Ivan Rakitic has had a really, really good career and all that. But Solskjaer is keen on recommending him in. So, do you think he would be a good replacement for Paul Pogba? So yes, so many midfielders have been on our current agenda. We do know now, obviously, De Gea is staying at the club. We also do know now that Juan Mata, of course, is staying at the club. But yeah, like I said, still lots to address in the squad. Like I said, we definitely need a central defender, as I've been saying. There's been talks going on about Issy Diop from West Ham in the last couple of weeks. Would you like him to come to Manchester United and all that? Issy Diop. Obviously, reported out the other week saying that, we had around the £45 million bid turned down for him. It also said we'd offered Phil Jones as part of the deal as well. But like I said, West Ham didn't turn this down because looking at ultimately, West Ham don't want to sell him. This is why they've priced him out of the market. This is why they're demanding quite a lot of money for him, to be quite honest with you. West Ham have said, they want at least £60 million if they're willing to sell him, or some reports were even speculating saying that West Ham wanted around £75 million, for Issa Diop. And, Issa Diop, I don't really know much about him, to be quite honest with you. I do presume he's supposed to be very good in the air because obviously he's tall, he's 6'4", I think he's a good athlete. He supposedly holds his line, really, really well, and all that. There's Issa Diop, he's 22 years of age. Obviously, he's had a year of experience under his belt in the Premier League. Last season was his debut season in the Premier League with West Ham. Obviously, he played 33 games for West Ham last season. I think he played about 38 in all competitions. He's got 4 years left on his deal with West Ham. West Ham did pay £22 million for him, last summer from Toulouse and all that. But, looking at it, Issa Diop, would be a cheaper solution than Harry Maguire from Leicester. He would be a cheaper solution than Koulibaly from Napoli. I think Koulibaly is out of the equation now anyway, because I probably do presume he will be staying with Napoli. And obviously, Napoli, looking at ultimate Napoli don't want to sell Koulibaly. This is why they've priced him out of the transfer market. This is why they are demanding an extortionate amount for him and all that. So it would be a cheaper solution, with DC Diop, but, West Ham have still said, they want around 60 million. Came out the other week saying that West Ham wanted Anthony Martial in exchange for DC Diop, but obviously, we're not going to be willing, to let Anthony Martial, go and all that. Like I said, with Harry Maguire, I don't think he's fully out of the equation as yet, because obviously it is Manchester United and Manchester City that are battling out for his services, but reports came out earlier on this week, as I updated you on, saying that now we've pulled out of the race for Harry Maguire. The main factor reason why we've pulled out of the race because obviously Leicester are demanding far too much money. They've put a huge price tag on Harry Maguire. It was initially £80 million they wanted, but now reportedly we've recently been notified now that Leicester have actually put it up. Now they're saying they want £100 million for Harry Maguire. He did say in the Daily Mail they wanted £90 million up front, with £10 million in add-ons and all that, but obviously we're not going to be willing to pay that for Harry Maguire. So I don't think we'll get Harry Maguire, but I don't believe he's fully out of the equation. But like I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think he's working on bringing the right players to Manchester United, but he's also working on trying to keep his imperative players at the football club. But like I said, I think so far this summer we've been too focused on the incoming. We've also got to focus on the outgoings and all that. Because we do need to sell players to help us generate funds and rebuild the squad. Because £100 million you could say is a tight budget. Like I said, £100 million is nowhere near enough for us to get the players that we want. The number of players that we want. To address the deficiencies in the squad and all that. So it did say we have been given £100 million, but it was saying that for a long time we'd been given around £250 million to spend. But us selling players will be beneficial, and it will help us generate funds and all that. But like I said, so far this summer we've got 2 players on the board. Daniel James, 18 million, and Wan-Bissaka, £50 million and all that. And Wan-Bissaka is our 5th most expensive sign. And like I said about Wan-Bissaka, I think he'll deliver the goods to Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does believe that Wan-Bissaka has got all the ingredients required to become a huge success at Manchester United. And I do believe Wan-Bissaka can be our fullback. Within the next decade and all that. He's only 21 years of age. He has still got a hell of a lot of years ahead of him. He's proven him in the Premier League. And like I said, that fullback, I'm glad now we've addressed that fullback position, because that fullback area, has been a problem for Manchester United at least in the last couple of years. And I did say, we haven't had a good defensive right back, since we had the likes of Gary Neville and all that. But Wan-Bissaka's defensive capabilities are very, very good. And I'm really, really happy, we have currently got him. We've got him in deal with 50 million. Obviously, we've paid 45 million up front, with 5 million in add-ons. Obviously, the add-ons are based on the appearances and all that. I think he is going to be, wearing that number 29 shirt. So obviously, his shirt number now has been revealed. Obviously, got confirmed he completed his medical on Thursday. But yeah, very, very happy about this. I'm fully glad now it's been made official, because I was increasingly becoming frustrated. At one point, Crystal Palace were becoming frustrated themselves, because obviously, we'd been negotiating a fee at least for the last 3 weeks. We previously had 2 bids turned down for him, but Crystal Palace blatantly made it clear, they wanted around £50 million up front, or well, around 45 million up front, between 45 million up front and £50 million up front and all that. But obviously now Crystal Palace are obviously will be in the market now to try try and find a replacement for Wan-Bissaka. But now another good thing about this is obviously we do keep the 25% sell-on clause in regard to Wilfred Zaha. So that's also very, very good news. But I think Crystal Palace now will lay the laws down, and obviously they'll be very, very reluctant now to sell Wilfred Zaha, because initially Crystal Palace's two best players were Wan-Bissaka and obviously Wilfred Zaha. Is one of their imperative players. So I can't see now Crystal Palace willing to let him go. But like I said, Wilfred Zaha has been linked to move to Arsenal. But obviously, Crystal Palace said we want 80 million. Some reports have said they want £100 million. Obviously, Arsenal can't afford that. So obviously, Arsenal are going to have to sell players to help them generate funds, to fund the move for Wilfred Zaha and all that. There was talks quite a few weeks back, Wilfred Zaha coming to Manchester United and all that. There was talks about him making a possible return to Old Trafford. But like I said, I don't, I'm very sceptical about that. I don't see that, currently happening. If he does leave, he'll probably make the move to Arsenal, because I think he actually does want to make the move to Arsenal and all that, because probably Wilfred Zaha believes now he's good enough, to rejuvenate his career and, take his footballing career to the next level, because he's well Premier League proven. Initially I learned his trade in the Premier League and all that, and I did say Crystal Palace probably would get around £80 million for him, but Wilfred Zaha said about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He said about 3 or 4 weeks ago, that he does want to leave Palace because he wants to be in Champions League football and all that. But obviously, Arsenal are in Champions League football. But the main part of this video, was to give you the latest news about Wissam Yedder. It basically says, we've got everything agreed, to sign Wissam Yedder, but I think we're only willing to step up our pursuit of the player if Romelu Lukaku does leave the club. His release clause is £35 million, is Wissam Yedder's, or is it £36 million? His goal scoring pedigree is very, very good. That was proven last season with Sevilla. He is 28 years of age. He has still got a lot of development in him as Wissam Yedder. It does mention in the Sun that PSG and Barcelona are in for him. They're interested in the player, but reportedly he prefers a move to Old Trafford. So I think he probably would be a good adequate replacement for Romelu Lukaku, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But so yeah, like I said, drop your comments, that's mainly everything to update today. Drop your comments, below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe, as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you guys all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.